The beer that made Samuel Adams a household name has been remastered to match the preferences of today's beer lovers. Now joining us to discuss this is founder and brewer of Samuel Adams. We've got Jim Koch. Hey Jim, great to be with you. And what led the Boston Beer Company to remaster their classic Boston lager recipe?
That's a great question, because this is not like new Coke and old Coke. This is really the culmination of a 38-year process from the time I started making Sam Adams Boston Lager in my kitchen in 1984, back at a time when there was no craft beer. America really only had like the big mass-produced, mass-marketed beers, and I started making Sam Adams and went from bar to bar selling it. And over the last 38 years, I mean, Sam Adams has become kind of a household name, helped start this whole craft beer revolution. And over those years, I've constantly pursued the perfect Sam Adams. And I've always believed there was a perfect Sam Adams, I just haven't made it yet. So as I brewed Sam Adams, I would find little ways to tweak it, make it better. And over that time, I still taste the sample of every batch. I'm on my second liver, but it's a small price to pay for perfection. And the latest tweak, I think, has made my favorite beer, Sam Adams Boston Lager, a little bit closer to perfection. And I don't want to get real geeky. It's a process called biological acidification. But what it does is it kind of cleans up the beer a little bit. It drops out some rough flavors that come into the beer from the husks of the malt. And it makes the beer brighter, easier drinking, smoother. And it just puts like a little sparkle in the glass. So that's why I decided to, keep going towards that perfect Sam Adams, and also to kind of announce to people the rediscovery of lager and of Sam Adams Boston Lager as the craft beer movement, continues to evolve.
Boy, that was educational there, Jim. I had no idea it started in your kitchen in 1984. So you've seen how things have evolved. Can you talk more about this? Can you discuss the evolving preferences of today's beer lovers and the impact on your company?
Sure. Yeah, and I'm really focused on craft beer drinkers. We don't really compete with the big mass-produced, mass-marketed beers, the Buds and the Millers and the Coors. Those are very fine beers for what they are. But we're at a different end. We're at the flavorful end of the beer spectrum, and at the craft beer end of it. And what I'm seeing as I've watched for 38 years, craft beer is now evolving into a sort of post-IPA period. For the last 15 years, IPAs have been the big thing in craft beer, and we're starting to see people with a little bit of like hop fatigue from all those hoppy IPAs that kind of just blast you with bitterness. Now, craft brewers are discovering the elegance of a classic lager, like Sam Adams Boston Lager. A lager beer, as opposed to an ale, is aged much longer. And that gives it a smoother, more, to me, complex taste. And it's not all just about this big blast of hops. You get this beautiful balance between the body and sweetness of the malt and the spiciness and bitterness of the hops. And Sam Adams Boston Lager is the best example in the beer world I can give you of that perfect balance.
All right, thank you so much, Jim. All I got to say is cheers. All right, and for much more on this, just head to our website, firstcoastliving.net.